see the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us slaves. I can feel the sun.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name's Brian, and today is Thursday, May 30th, 2024, and this is episode 709 of the Lots Project podcast titled, What a Relief. I'll be chatting about a nice discovery I made yesterday, some snail updates, making connections over dinner, and much, much more. First, let's check in with the live stream, see who's hanging out in the coffee crew, grab a cup, and hang out for an hour. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? Hope you're doing well. It's beautiful, beautiful morning here. Rewilder Life just said we slept through the morning alarm today. I could have done that. I definitely could have done that. It was gorgeous overnight. Like ideal sleeping weather. Ideal sleeping weather. So let me scroll back up here in a second. Good morning, Jim. How we doing? Thanks for stopping in. I'm guessing you're over on Noster too. Pip, happy Friday Eve to you, sir, also. And I hope your day goes well today. Canadian Farmstead, good morning. Rewilder Life, as I mentioned, Hunter over on Twitch. And Jim says, I'm watching an anti-gun ad before you're live. Well, I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense. Try to persuade the people that are watching the show that is most likely not anti-gun. I guess. I don't know. Anyway, good morning, Haas. How we doing? Good morning, Mike's Homestead. Everybody else getting anti-pew pew ads when they're rolling in, or that's funny. Good morning, Backwoods Butcher. Oh, Backwoods Butcher, you got some TikToks going on, man. Is today the day your friends are coming up and hanging out at your place and recording content? Canadian Farmstead said he got an ad for cat litter. Do you have a cat? Because I don't have a cat. Do you have a cat? Jim got anti-gun stuff. I'm curious. On your way in, if you get to see an ad before the show, before you log into the show, let me know. Let me know what you get. Hunter says no ads on Twitch so far. Yeah, that's because you're the only one that watches there. I don't have enough people to monetize on Twitch, so you're safe for a while, Hunter. I'm not picking up followers very fast over on Twitch. Coffee. What's in Rewild Life says I don't pay attention. I was trying to comb my hair. That should be a new thing if you guys would pay attention and drop in the comments when you roll into the live what the ad was for. Hanging Laundry, good morning to you. She says she has ads for stuck poop and evisceration. Wait, what? What? Oh, no. Oh, Jim says the guy talked about Sandy Hook, had a picture of a cute kid, probably had like Sarah McLachlan rolling in the background. Rewilder Life says they were advertising for Biden on my show last week. Oh, this makes sense. YouTube is so in tune with what they should be showing my audience, what my audience would actually give a shit about. Oh. Good morning, Pickle Pete. He forgot to switch accounts and got Expedia ass pickle people. What? I don't know what ass pickle people are. Yeah. Jeez. Anyway, I got Ethiopian still in the tiny cup today. I got my mini cup again. My miniature Bitcoin mug. to go along with all my tiny stacks of Bitcoin. So Ethiopian is light and fresh. It is it smells great when you're brewing it up, and it tastes great when it hits your tongue. It is clean and smooth, and I would recommend it every day of the week. If I had to drink it all the time, I definitely would. Otherwise, I just reach in and grab another blend out of the cupboard. But man, if a box full of Ethiopian showed up in my door, I would definitely be okay. I would definitely be okay. Jim's got his clip for the day. And if you want to pick yourself up some Ethiopian, you can definitely head on over to foodforestfarms.com. Use LOTS5 for 5% off anytime, all the time. Free shipping as always over there. Or LOTS10 for 10% off your first order. One-time use coupon, get 10% off. Have that free shipping. Give micro batch air roasted coffee a try. I don't think you will be disappointed at all. Hanging Laundry says her brother is a golfer, talked golf a month ago, and I get lots of golf ads ever since. Yeah. Advertising is an interesting thing for sure. You find out a lot of interesting tidbits when you start running ads on things like on TikTok or Facebook or social media. When you put ads on, not seeing ads, but being the advertiser with a middleman in between who's targeting people. So there is that. Well, anyway, it's Thursday. It's going to be a good day. Hey Pete, check your Telegram messages. I dropped you one this morning, and I'm going to be out relatively short after your show this morning, so I won't be back till the evening. So just so you know, got one out there. Let's get to it, though. We got a few things on the list today. So yesterday, as I mentioned on the show, it was office day. It was kind of get caught up on computer work. It was try to get back in the swing of content creation day. It was busy. I was further behind than I thought I was, for sure. I got a bunch edited. I had a lot of videos that I needed to record follow-ups for. So when I was doing a video for, say, a belt, I kind of want to give it a try. Testing out a belt isn't hard. You just wear it for a few days and say what you think of it. But when I recorded the initial video, I said I was going to do that. And I hadn't gotten back around to, I wore the belt, and then I hadn't gotten around to filming the end of the video. So I had a bunch of videos without the very end. And so I started to edit out all of those. I have a to edit, TO edit, to-do list basically of videos. I have that folder in my computer. So I went and I watched all of them. There were like a dozen in there. And I watched all of them. I ended up able to produce a couple that needed to be done or were complete already. So I got those done. That took a little while. And then I went through and watched all of my videos and took notes and figured out what had to be done and what I needed to film. And then I started picking away at it. Well, a couple of the things that I really needed to get done were the products from IceCo that they sent out to me. One was the plug-in cooler refrigerator, freezer, portable refrigerator freezer. That's pretty cool. I needed to get that done. That's a high dollar item, and I have a contract with them for when it needed to be done. I'm not cutting it close on it, but I just rather get it done sooner rather than later. And the other thing that they sent out that's included in that contract was a folding chair. And I talked to you guys about the folding chair. I told you about the fact that it wasn't comfortable. It was horrible. Like, I was hoping that I was doing it wrong, and I just couldn't believe that a folding chair or a camping chair, whatever you want to call it, an expandable chair that was that expensive, that the materials felt that quality. The canvas it just feels like it's just super high quality, and that it should pull the dollar value that they're $150 camping chair. And I couldn't fathom the fact that it was so uncomfortable, that it was kind of wonky when he sat down. It kind of like flopped around and stuff. I was like, this can't be right. So I intended to pull that out and take a look at it more in depth and see what I was screwing up, because there was something obvious that I was screwing up. I had to believe that. Well, I took it out and I looked at it and didn't see much. I came back in, I was looking at the listing, and it didn't come with any instructions. So my home run video is going to be how to use this fucking chair so it's comfortable. But in one of the photos in the product listing, it showed you had to like kind of snap down this bar. Canadian Farm says that maybe it wasn't built for a Sasquatch. I had Corey come out and sit in it just for that fact. Like, no shit. I was like, maybe it's because I'm too big. Maybe it's because I'm too fat. Like, it's supposed to hold 450 pounds. And this is the extra tall version, it's the tall version. They have a tall version and then a lower to the ground version. So I assume that 6'5" and under 300. I mean, I'm under 275 and on the way down because of climbing up that hill. But I had to believe there was something wrong. So in the pictures, there was this one where you had to push down this like this bar, and it says it can be hard to push down. And then it shows the little symbols that says click. And so I went back out, I set it up, I found the little bar that they were saying. It was blatantly obvious in the back once you knew that's what you had to do. And I put my hand on it, and it wasn't horribly hard. I mean, it wasn't like you put it down and it was like, oh, click, it's done. Like, you had to put some effort into it. But when I snapped it down, I saw the chair just like change. It like popped, and the canvas got super rigid, super tight, and I sat down in it, and guys, it's fucking comfortable. I think this chair, yeah, $150. Probably not something. Well, I don't know. Can I say that I would buy another one to have a matching set? Maybe if I didn't need to buy anything else. If you have the disposable income and you're looking for a quality folding camping chair with a nice bag and that it's going to last a long time, I think this is a phenomenal chair. It was comfortable. It reclines to 4 different positions. It lays out almost completely back, so you can pretty much take a nap in it with no problem. So I was relieved, to say the least, that this $150 camping chair that they sent me out, that they want me to do a couple review videos and promote, I don't have to go back to them and say, this is the most uncomfortable chair I've ever sat in. So that was good. I got to film the end of that video. I also got to film the end of the Ice Co video for the refrigerator freezer. That was pretty cool. I've been using that thing. That's a solid Canadian Farm says I have 5 camping chairs and I think I spent less than $100 on them. $100 Canadian on them. Yeah, I mean, it's spendy. Don't get me wrong. And when I saw it, when they were going to send it to me, I was like, Whew, that's a higher end on a chair. Um, I don't know. It's got wooden handles. It's like it's a solid chair. That's why I was so surprised that it was so uncomfortable and in the back of my head, like I knew there had to be something I was missing. I knew it. And I was glad there was. The portable fridge freezer is pretty cool. I've been using that to go get groceries. I've been testing it out. Um, it's a solid product. It cools down super fast. Um, Canadian Farm System, none of them will hold 450 pounds. That is another thing. That is another thing about that chair. It is definitely built to last and built for the larger folk, and smaller folk too. I mean, it's not super obnoxiously big either. So the refrigerator freezer, it cools down super fast. It's very quiet. Like quiet enough that I had to check to see if it was on a couple times. It goes down to 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Um, Chairs for fatties. Got it. Perfect for you, Kyle. Perfect for you. Uh, so it's yeah. So the ones it'll go down to 0 degrees. So it is legit a freezer and a refrigerator. It's got dual sides, but you can remove the divider and make it one constant temperature. It's got battery minder modes and things. So if you're running it off your DC and it detects the voltage drop below set point, it will kill the motor, the compressor, and everything until the voltage comes back up. So if you're running it on your truck and you forget to unplug it, as it draws down the battery and it's getting that voltage feedback, it will just it'll just turn off on its own. Oh no. So that's really cool. I'm liking that product. I think it has a lot of different uses. Everything from like a dorm room fridge to an office fridge to if you're going to an Airbnb for the weekend and you want to bring your own food, stuff like that. Transporting, like we're using it to transport groceries back and forth in when it's hot and we have frozen stuff or perishables like lettuce or produce, things like that we don't want wilting in the car. Canadian Farmstead says, "What does that cost? What do you think that costs?" So it's a 20 liter, I believe it's 20 liter refrigerator freezer, dual climate control, DC or AC power. Price is Right rules. Yeah, sure, Price is Right rules, but there's no prize. I actually looked up the price yesterday, so I have the current Amazon price, and no cheating in looking it up. No cheating in looking it up for you guys on the webs. But yeah, it's a solid product. I think I would recommend it. And I think we'll probably end up using these in some form or fashion for the cabins at Delinquent Scully. I'm guessing. Um, Probably dial in a couple different things. I think they make a bigger model too. I think Tim got a model from the same company that's a little bigger. This is nice and portable for sure. Canadian Farmsteads bids 301. Is that Canadian or US dollars? Let's denominate in US dollars, please. It also can be run by an app, and I find the app is actually easier to use than the onboard control panel. The onboard 249 US. I'm going to tell you you're a little off. You're a little off. The app is really cool. The onboard control panel is it's not buttons. It's all like the solid. Jim says $1. You're out already. Um, one the the keypad. I call it a keypad, but it's like smooth. Um, it's almost like those. Um, Jim says I'm high. I just woke up, dude. I just woke up. Uh, so the buttons, there's no buttons. Like you push it, it's hard. So it's like infrared feedback. And so when you touch it, there's no like, oh, I have to push the button, and it locks itself because you're packing it in the car, whatever. You don't want accidental things, so there's a lock button, and it automatically locks when you press the button. Um, and so it's kind of wonky. I messed around with it. I've gotten better at it. I think it takes some time using it. But if you use Bluetooth app and you download the app, it like legit comes right up. You can adjust the temperature. You can turn it on. You can turn it off. You can monitor the status right on your phone. And it just every time the fridge comes on, it pops up, and there it is. So there is that functionality. I like that. We got some more guesses. We got Jim says $1. Rewilder Life says 410. Canadian Farmstead says that $150 chair should cool your food for you. It does have a little side caddy, canvas side caddy that you could throw some ice in and cool your food if you'd like. Jim says I'm high, and then says they're high. Mike's Homestead says 411. I'm gonna tell you it's $449.95. Mike's Homestead wins. Mike's Homestead wins on the price guess. $449.95. So it's a higher spendy item. It's not outrageous for what it is by any means. I like Rewilder Life made a point. Perfect for folks with allergies who have to travel with food. So Mike's Homestead just rolled out Rewilder Life with the $1 overbid. Jim says, "Oh wait, I was guessing what I would pay." Well, you're an old geezer on fixed income, so I just imagine you don't leave the house very much, and you have your fridge right in your house. So Canadian Farm says that Mike's watched plenty of prices right before. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Hate the game, not the player. Well, yeah, I mean, it was an impromptu game here. We set the rules up the way we did, and it is what it is. Um, so I looked at those two. I'm liking those. I also had some products yesterday that I was like, yeah, no, and had to email the company and be like, I can't promote this. Like circling back to the locks that I reached out, and they were like, do the video. And I just kind of said everything that I was actually feeling about the locks. It's really counterintuitive because I don't make any commission if you don't buy the item. So making videos that don't promote a positive spin on the item and don't promote the item to be purchased is basically a waste of my time. But I did get the product for free, and I do talk to the companies and tell them I'll give them an honest review. So, but I always reach out to them and say, "Do you want me to put this out there? I will make it because you sent me the product, and that's tit for tat. I will honor that. But if you don't want if you're gonna be upset about the shitty review, I don't want to waste my time making it." So I reached out to them. They had sent me two products. One was a dash mount for a car. Jim says I would consider a lots rating system. Like what? Like I would use it, or I would throw it in the trash, or like I don't know. one of the things that I liked from the company sent me two things. They sent me a dashboard mount for your phone. I don't have the new iPhone. Corey doesn't have the new iPhone, the MagSafe thing. From what I understand, there's a magnet and it's wireless charging and all the stuff in the phone. And then they also sell these MagSafe cases. This company took advantage of it and made these magnetic phone holders. One was for the vehicle. One was a point of view thing. It was right here. Almost threw it away. It's this point of view thing, so you can watch yourself do things. The magnets work really good. They work almost too good. They send a kit for you to retrofit like a normal phone case or a regular phone to have a metal ring to do the MagSafe stuff. So it holds really well. It holds really well. The problem is with that point of view thing, it rests against your chest. So if you're moving at all, if you're walking, if you're working with your hands, if you're moving your shoulders, your breastbone is moving, your torso is moving, and your phone is bouncing. Just the way it just the way it sits. It didn't sit right. Um Hanging Laundry says it's pretty cool, the POV thing. I thought so too. Until the camera just I kept trying to think of scenarios where it would work. Corey kept saying different things and throwing it out there, and I would run through the motions of doing that. Walking was not good. I tried that. Every step it would adjust with your shoulders because you don't hold stiff when you walk. It would rock on your chest. I can't even imagine if I was well endowed in the upper region and was not a man anymore. What would happen? Like that would sit. Um, uh, then I was thinking maybe working on things, doing projects. But I realized every time you moved your hand, every time you moved your shoulders and stuff like this is all connected. This is all connected. So anytime you moved any of this pad, I threw it way over there. The pad would shift and the phone would go like this. I couldn't get it to, I couldn't come up with a scenario where it was stable enough to make a video that I would actually watch or take the time to produce. So I don't know, man. It was tough. I can't say the magnet didn't hold. I can't say the magnet didn't hold. That's about it. So Hanging Laundry says it's never too late to be well endowed and be not a man. So that's kind of what I got through. I got a couple posted. I got one up for the 20-volt chainsaw, the 20-volt brushless DeWalt chainsaw. That thing is that thing's pretty good. It is what it is. It's not a lumberjacking saw by any means. It is probably a perfectly fine saw for somebody living in the suburbs, somebody living on a small lot, somebody looking for a saw to use to cut up stuff maybe up to 6 inches in diameter would probably be sufficient. It's got a 12-inch bar on it. It's solid. It's light. It feels solid. Like I've used it to cut down like a 10 to 12-inch diameter tree that was probably way bigger than we should have cut down with that thing, but it's what we had. so I know it's solid built, but it doesn't feel like there's nuts there. Like it doesn't feel like when you pick it up and hold it that it's giving you that feedback. Um when I'm using a saw and I'm digging into a tree, I want to have some of that biofeedback of the weight to pay attention to. It's really easy to swing. It's really easy to swing around the DeWalt saw willy nilly and not really realize that it's a chainsaw. Um, Hanging Laundry says, I know a guy who uses the DeWalt for cutting down honeysuckle bushes. Nice option. Yeah. I also saw that Hawkins over at Chicken Hawk Farmstead, he picked up the hedge trimmer that he's really liking. It's like a hedge trimmer on a pole. Um, but yeah, you got to carry this thing if you're looking for something to trim up around the backyard. You have a tree fall down and you don't have an enormous oak tree that came down, and you need a professional to come. If you're just looking for like side yard and stuff like that, I think it's quality. It's easy to use. It's really intuitive. The chain sharpening super easy, the oil fill, you don't have to worry about the gas obviously because it's electric, and the battery, the 5 amp hour battery lasted surprisingly long time for the work you're doing. And I think if you keep the chain sharp, it's a perfectly useful tool for what it is. You just have to understand what it is. You're not going to go clear your back woodlot with it. um Ruala says, I need a little one. I have a pole chainsaw, but it's a bit wieldy for my small size since the the weight is all at the end. Yeah, this little saw, I think is perfect. It would be a perfect size, Rachel, especially bucking up trees. So if you were doing some clearing and you had when we have a hey, good morning, Nicole. If we had a time, and we will, where we're dropping the large trees around the cabin build site, and I wanted Corey to run a saw bucking limbs, I would feel comfortable teaching her how to use this and feel that it was appropriate size and weight for her to handle. I I don't think that would be out of the question at all. And I think she could probably run it most of the day without being sore, without it weighing down on her. So I think that I I think it's perfectly fine for what it is and what it can be used for. So um Pickle P says, I had to carry a 30-inch big saw all day yesterday. Damn, they're heavy. So's the gas can. We're working a few miles in. Yeah, so I got a 20-inch bar on mine, on my Husqvarna. It's a Husqvarna 455 Rancher. Um, it's heavy. I will never deny that. I will never deny that it is heavy, but I'll also tackle any tree that I feel comfortable felling. Um, Anything bigger than, so with my 20-inch saw, I'd probably feel comfortable cutting up to a 30-inch tree. I could get it done. I wouldn't be crazy about it. I like to stay under the bar length, but I'm more than confident in doing 75% more than the bar length. But I love that saw. That saw has done me so good. I've used it for so many different things. But it is heavy and there's a lot of gas. I could throw a lot of 5 amp hour batteries in the backpack and carry that little 12-inch DeWalt through the woods for a long time. I could even like legit if it had a bar cover and it doesn't. It might have come with one. I don't know. It's not mine. Um, it's not my it's Tim's saw. Tim bought it. Tim opened it, and I don't know. I don't necessarily think there was a bar cover for it, but if there was a bar cover, legit, you could hook this to your belt and carry it around with like a carabiner. Nicole says, I have a cute little 48-volt Ryobi chainsaw, perfect for small homestead jobs. Nighthawk brings out the big guns when we have a real problem. Yeah, that's what this is, 20-volt, 12-inch. It's just got a little 12-inch bar on it. But it rips. I mean, I was using it when I cut the tree down that was probably too big for the saw. It was brand new, like factory sharp chain. And I know you can get the chain sharper than that if you stay on it. That is going to be a key with that little chainsaw is keeping the chains sharp. Pickle P says the power is awesome. The power is awesome. I love that 455. It just rips. Pickle P says the giant bar is good for bushes, can get to the core of the bush. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of just cut and slash with chainsaws, like bushes and going through that. It seems like a lot of unless the bar is 30 inches and you can get to the core like that. You can get to the core and cut the main stem. If you're just cutting like this shit, that's one, it's dangerous, and two, you're just wearing yourself out with a chainsaw. Nicole says, get a saw that self-sharpens. I've never been happy with a self-sharpening saw, actually. I dicked around with one. I just feel like you can, if you run the saw for a day and hand sharpen it just with a hand file. Husqvarna makes a really nice hand file, and you just hit it at the end of the day. It stays so sharp, and then if you nick anything, every once in a while, if it just feels dull, you pop it off and you use electric saw. I've had more luck with that. And that being said, I've never used like the small chains. I've never used the 12-volt DeWalt other than or the 20-volt DeWalt. I've never used like the backyard chainsaw. The ones I ran in New York at jobs and different jobs I've had through the years have always been big, 20-inch bar or bigger. And then my saw didn't have a self-sharpening blade or self-sharpening chain. Maybe it's just something that's foreign to me. I don't feel. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe on the small stuff it worked great. But I've more than cut myself on my chain after I've hand sharpened them, and maybe it's just a preference. So, but sharp chain, yeah, just like a knife, just like any knife. The job is easier when it's sharp. You increase your power, you decrease your resistance, you decrease your yeah, okay, yeah, that's fair point. Fair point. Nicole says yes, it's on the has the self sharpening on the little electric one. It's a godsend. The scale you do, the scale, and you're doing all sorts of little shit too, and probably hitting the dirt, hitting shit you really didn't want to. So does that self sharpen as it runs constantly? Do you burn through chains faster with that? Because that would also be my worry. Constantly if you're constantly sharpening something that doesn't need to be sharpened because it's just doing it when it's run, how does that work? Is that kind of an on off thing? Do you press a button and hold it to sharpen it? Rewilder Life says hubby has steel, two of them. Yeah, I ran a lot of steel at a couple jobs, and then I ran Husqvarna, and that's what I ended up buying. Hmm. Okay. It's constantly sharp since she hasn't had to change the blade. Interesting. I'll have to look into those. That it kind of intrigues me, not even just that it works, but how it works. Regardless of whether it works or not, or is good or bad. I'm just curious how that thinking about how I sharpen my blades, I'm trying to wrap my head around the mechanism that would sharpen a blade automatically. Hmm, interesting. Interesting. Um, Hanging Laundry said, "Wish I did have a saw with a very long bar for bucking." Yeah. Yeah, Nicole says she's surprised the DeWalt battery one doesn't self sharpen, and that was I think Jack was always talking about. I think there was a Porter cable one or something that had the self or the Oregon one. The Oregon one had the self sharpening, and the DeWalt when it came out didn't follow suit and put it in theirs, which was weird. I'm just still trying to picture the self-sharpening chain mechanism. Well, I see what I'm going to do until I go out to the property today. Look at self-sharpening chainsaw mechanisms. Interesting. Interesting. Um so yeah, the I got the chainsaw video up. I also got I don't know. I can't even remember what other one I got up, but anyway, yeah, it was a catch up day yesterday. I'm still far behind. So hopefully I'm going to be able to get the site prep for the shed today done early enough that I can record some more content, or I'm going to be doing it when I get home tonight, which can get hectic around here in the neighborhood. So Rewilder Life asks a good question, and this is something that I'm horrible at. I am horrible at chaps. I would have to say that I've worn them way less than I should have. I wore them on a job that provided them, and I have some on my wish list. Let's just say that. But Rachel asked a question about which chaps to use. And if you get into a place where you're using electric chainsaws and gas powered chainsaws, the chaps are different. The way they work, the way they catch the chain, bog down the clutch, kill the saw, uh, and just work in general on stopping that chain from getting down to your skin works way different between the electric and the gas powered saws. And not all chaps that are rated for gas powered saws are rated for electric saws. So she's been digging in. I don't think she's gotten very many answers for it, and it's something that I have to dive in more. But I have a couple pairs that I've put on a wish list that I'm digging into, and at under $150. The steel ones, the Husqvarna ones, the high end brand ones are under 150 bucks, And like most of them that are UL rated at a minimum, they're not Chinese knockoffs. They're actually UL rated. They're just a generic brand, are down in the like $70-$80 range. And it's just a point of actually getting it. Pickle P says he owns a pair, never wore them. Rachel's looking for a pair for her little legs. Nicole doesn't have any and should. Hunter didn't know the difference. So Jim says here, I never felt a need for chaps, but I look out for widowmakers as necessary. Cutting alone is a mistake. What are the chaps going to do for you for widowmakers? I've seen some nasty shit with broken chains. And that's the thing I worry most about. I am very cognizant of where I place my legs. I'm very cognizant of where I stand, where I cut. But in some situations, you're always going to be in the line of fire. You're always going to be in the line of if that chain breaks, and you do have chain arrest. You have the little peg on the side of the saw that's supposed to wrap the chain if it breaks. But if that chain breaks and it's sharp, which we talked about earlier, if it's sharp and properly sharp, I don't give a shit if that saw is dead. If I took the chain off and just whacked it against your leg, you're not going to like it. You're definitely not going to like it. So I think about it. And for $70, and from the reviews, it looks like it's a buy once and have them for forever. Yeah, I mean, it's just another layer. It's another layer of safety. And then if you accidentally set the saw on your leg, which, I mean, please don't. Please don't. Pickle Pete says, right, I'm not worried about operator error, but yeah, broken chain is a thing. I'm not worried about cutting myself in the leg. I cut my hands all the time. I cut shit all the time. With a chainsaw, I'm not worried about cutting myself. I'm worried about the one thing that happens that I don't have control over. Living Free and says, he says, buy once and have them forever only works if you don't lose them. That's true, and that's why I would buy the fluorescent orange ones. When I was looking at them, I got to I kind of dialed down to a couple different pairs I was looking through, and they always had the option. You could get the blaze orange ones. You could get the navy blue, the gray, all the different colors, and I always put the blaze orange one in my cart just so I can find them for sure. I took a tip from Scrambling there, and I haven't picked it up yet, but I've started to try to mark everything with fluorescent paint, so when you set it down in the woods, you can find it. It's why I believe that Steel and Husqvarna are bright orange. I believe Oregon is like a bright red, so you can find the shit in the green. Yeah. Canadian Farm says the tree you don't know is rotten inside and twists and snaps when you're making the back cut. Exactly. That's the shit I worry about. That's you can do all the planning in the world. You can look the tree up and down. You can see the way it's leaning. You can see the way the wind's blowing. You can cut your wedge out perfectly. and you can start ripping into the back of that tree, and it can all go sideways, literally sideways, and you're fucked. And then you're running. I love my kill switch on my Husqvarna. It is like if you're holding the trigger, if you're holding the saw and using it, it is literally on your thumb. My thumb. I got big hands, but it's like I've accidentally hit it because it's right there. When I see anything start to go even a bit of sideways, that I hit that kill switch. And at least if I'm walking, running, trying to get away from a tree going sideways, I'm not running a fucking saw that's on. Real Their Life says, especially you don't have phone coverage out there. Yeah, we get I get nervous. I get nervous out there cutting trees. I am more than confident in my ability to fell trees, the size that we have. I don't really like doing it by myself in general, especially when I don't have cell service. And it is what it is. Sometimes you have to do. Sometimes you have to do it. Living free and say I get Nicole says I get frustrated with the kill switches, but then I remember that in an emergency I'm glad it was there. Yeah. I learned to not hit it when I don't want to, but yeah, I am sure glad it's there. I really am sure glad it's there. Hunter's talking about chopping cherry trees down or something. Hunter says, would you wear face mask and helmet earmuffs? I would wear chaps before I'd wear a helmet with earmuffs and face shield. I do have safety glasses. Actually, Patrick Rohrman's safety glasses. Oddly enough, I've never really chatted. I've met Patrick, I believe, in passing. I've never really sat down and have a conversation with the guy, but I'm wearing a pair of his safety glasses out at Tim's property because he accidentally left a pair there after he visited. So I inherited them. They're the generic plastic, just yeah, the Harbor Freight, pick them up on the way out. That's what I use. I don't. A helmet is what a helmet is. I feel if there's something significantly enough that falls and hits me in the fucking head, I got bigger issues than if my skull is cracked open. It's for glancing blows. The stuff that I'm going to be having fall on my head is way more significant than having a helmet on, in my opinion. It kind of is what it is. Hang Laundry says I have a medium leaner by the stream. I may pull the thing down with my car after making a cut with my pole saw. I've done some really crazy stuff, cutting down trees that weren't really ideal for cutting down. Now, where I got my chainsaw experience, when I was in high school, I did a lot of different summer jobs. I worked at a gas station, all this stuff, and I had the opportunity to work for the county at a landfill as summer help, basically doing the odds and ends, doing weed eating, mowing, and stuff like this. But I also had like a project for the year. The first year I was up there, my project was to clear a fence line with trees and take the fence down, and they were going to open it up and expand the area. And so I spent the summer running a fucking chainsaw, clearing a whole brush line. It was probably 200 yards long, and that was my job every day. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't know how to run a chainsaw. I didn't know how to sharpen a chainsaw. I didn't know anything about them. I didn't know how to fell a tree. But throughout a summer of cutting down anywhere from saplings to, I think I got up into maybe the 15 to 20 inch diameter by the end of the summer. I systematically worked my way through it and taught myself what to do. And this is in like the early 90s when you couldn't YouTube how to fell a tree. I had to ask the guys there. I had to grab friends of family or whatever and learn how to do it. So I got a whole summer right off the bat in my working career on how to run a chainsaw, how to sharpen it, how to work a tree. We've done a lot of shit with come-alongs, ropes, vehicles, four-wheelers, winches. There's a lot of shit you can do to get a tree down. I am nowhere near as good as these tree guys that do it, but I'm very wholly confident in my ability to ascertain a situation and make it happen. So that's kind of my background in this. Living Free says this is an argument for carrying radio. I do. I got Baofeng radios for comms out at the property. Jim says you were grazed. 6 inches, almost 6 stitches, almost knocked out. Saw stars, was alone, a few inches from fucked. If you had had a helmet, would it have been better? If it was 6 inches the other way, or would the impact of screwed your neck? Mm-hmm. Ruler Life says she's been asking after the hubby for ear protection. He gets sick of wearing it as machinist. I've worn ear protection on and off my whole life, and yeah, it's important. It's important for sure, for sure. Yeah. So Living Free in Tennessee says hearing protection 110%. I bartended in a bar with live blues for a little over a year, and it damaged my hearing probably more than most of the industrial jobs that I've had. I'm bad about that shit. I really am. And the worst part is I had to do like in the industrial setting, you have to do hearing, if depending on the classification of your industry, you have to do hearing tests every year to monitor to make sure you're not losing your hearing. And I always felt like I couldn't hear shit. Always felt like I couldn't hear jack shit. And I would go in and take these hearing tests and I would pass. My hearing would be the same as the year before, and this year before, and the year before. And it always baffled me that I wasn't losing my hearing because I felt like I was, but they kept telling me I didn't. And the more I go down these rabbit trails of bullshit that's out there, the more I wonder if they were just giving you lip service so they cover their ass. Hanging Laundry says I do saw things alone, but I have a phone with me and contact my kids or sibs before working. Yeah, that's a good idea. There was a lot of sketchy shit. It wasn't sawing, it wasn't cutting trees down. It was getting into it was hunting tree stands. Just climbing up 20 feet into a tree to sit in a tree stand is sketchy. And doing it alone is when you normally do it. That was the thing that we were always talking about in Minnesota was going out hunting by yourself. Ruala says loop ring. Yeah. Ruala Life says her hobby shows that he's losing. I couldn't ever believe it. Like, and I had longevity at some of the places where I was getting annual hearing tests, and I would go back, like literally they would tell me, and I'd be like, "Oh, how does that look to the rest of the tests?" And they're like, "Oh no, you're fine. It actually increased here." Like, what? Wait, what? So I don't know. I think it's all. I wholly believe that I've lost hearing. Hanging Laundry says she wears earmuffs when using a vacuum cleaner. All the more reason to use a broom on hardwood floors with no carpet. I hate vacuuming. Hate it. Good morning, John Palmer. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you stopping in. Let's see. So yeah, that was kind of a sideways thing. I'll do a snail update tomorrow for sure. Just want to say, had dinner with friends yesterday. Hadn't seen them in a while, a couple, 2-3 weeks. My friends here in Sardis, Norman and Herschel, and we talked about a lot of stuff. We caught up. We went through some stuff, and they've been busy, and we finally got back together for dinner. But the thing that kind of opened my eyes yesterday, and I wanted to mention to you guys, is we've been interacting now since it'll be a year in September. We met at Toolman Tim's workday, and then SRF that weekend. And I did work with them. We get together quite often. We share a mutual affection for the Mexican place here in town. And so we've networked. I would have to say they're in community. They're really good friends, and we network and we help each other out. So as much as we have interacted, last night I found out some stuff they were looking for. They were looking for sources for beef and milk and this and that. When I got home, I connected them with 3 separate people that I've known since I've known them, that I've been interacting with since I've known them. I just didn't know that they needed to know. So really talk to the people that you're connected with and see what they're looking for, see what they need. Let them know who you know, because they might not know that you know somebody that has eggs. They might not know that you have somebody that sells milk. I don't drink milk, but I know somebody that here sells milk locally that I can put you in touch with. But I have no reason to talk about my milk guy because I don't buy milk from him. I just know him and have that connection. So definitely talk to your people. Talk to your people, because you don't know until you know. And I was like shocked. We just got talking, and I said, I mentioned something in passing. They're like, "Oh, you know somebody that does that?" I was like, "Yeah, I can reach out. I can see if I can see if I can get you in touch with them." I don't know why. Over a year. Over a year. Oh, it's Jim. Jim. Oh, sorry, Jim. I missed your comment. It says you're really missing the point. Need to have someone to call for an ambulance, period. What if there's no cell phone signal? What if there's no ambulance to call for? Roll with it. Just go with it. No, we're doing things as safely and as appropriately as we can here. But reach out to your people, your connections, your people locally, your people in wider networks, online communities, and really share what you know, share who you know, and let them know when people need to be connected. So I don't know. It was just it was eye-opening to me yesterday. Pip says, forget the snails, get some carrier pigeons. Why not both? Why not both? Canadian Pharmacist says, well, at least you get one more video done about trying to stop bleeding. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up and get out of here. If you want to continue chatting and more live, you can head on over to the Food Forest Farms website. You can check out Scrambling there on the West Coast. Canadian Farm says hello, Corey. Good morning, Corey. Oh, and I need to thank all you guys, Corey. Really appreciated all the animal pictures in the Telegram group. She was smiling every time she got one. She'd smile and enjoy it. So I thank you guys for sending all that and making her day. Other than that, we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, and we'll have another big show. We'll talk about snails. We'll talk about God knows what, and see if I got my site prep for the shed and all of that stuff. I appreciate you guys listening. If you enjoyed the show, it's always free to hit that like, share, and subscribe to return value for value. Please consider joining one of the YouTube membership tiers or listening on any value for value platform like Podverse or Fountain.fm. You can visit the info or thelostproject.com to find out more information about me, all sorts of recommended products, and all sorts of information, or comfreyroots.com to pick up your comfrey roots. Don't forget that BOGO offer. Get one for you, get one for a friend. If you use Share the Love, coupon code Share the Love at checkout, you put that in, and it doesn't change anything. It basically just adds the coupon code. You can see it there that it was added. It just signals to me to send you out a second order for you to hand out to an acquaintance, a friend, or plan them yourself. That's your prerogative. But Share the Love, all one word, not case sensitive. Go ahead and just throw it in there, and we'll get you out 2 orders as soon as we can. Guys, have an awesome Thursday. Roll into it. Have a great day, and we will catch up with you tomorrow.
Shining